Yeah, these filters are just crazy. That's insane. This little piece of glass right here is the K&F Concepts Black Mist Filter. And I gotta tell you, this filter gives your images and video a pretty unique look. Here is a normal shot of the set that I have built today. And here is that same shot with the K&F Black Mist filter. You can see that it creates this dreamy vintage look by diffusing and adding glow or halation to the highlights. Now, I rarely use filters in the type of photography I do, food and product photography, but in my journey to bring you guys some really cool and interesting gear, these filters popped up. And you know, food photography is all about creating a mood, and these black mist filters definitely create a mood. K&F makes these black mist filters in different strengths. Full strength, or a 1, half, quarter, and an eighth. These types of filters, or photographers trying to use various other methods to achieve the same effect, has really been around for a very, very long time. And they were really popular back in the 70s and 80s. Of course, I was a little too young to test them out back then, and since I'm a food and product photographer, you don't really see them much in my genre. So I kind of wanted to test them out, take you guys along with me, put up all the various strengths side by side, and see which one I like best per scenario. If you've never seen these filters before, they come in various names depending on the company, but what they are is a light diffusion contrast cutting filter that takes the crispness and edge off your highlights, and at the same time gives you a really nice halation or bloom effect. Like a halo, where it spreads out the light emanating from the highlights where they might normally have defined edges. Like I said, they come in various strengths, which is set by the amount of microscopic black specks misted onto the glass of the filter. The more black specks, the stronger this halo mist effect will be. It's definitely a choice that you would make for an artistic or story-related reason. Okay, before I can start testing these filters out, I have to first build a set. I'm turning my shooting table into a woodshed. I know these filters really affect the highlights, so I wanted to create a scene that has a lot of reflections and lights, but also kept that contrast. It's a classy winter tequila shot, and probably the first time those 3 words have ever appeared in a sentence together. I'm gonna start off first with just the normal no filter shot. I'm shooting this with my Blackmagic 6K Pro with my Canon 50mm lens. I'll reset and then I'll just take the same shot over again, swapping out the filters each time. That way I can compare the 4 filters together. Okay, I'll just run through each one so you can see the effect the black mist filter has on our little scene here. Starting with my normal no filter image of my snowy woodshed scene, here's the K&F black mist filter at full strength. And yeah, that's a huge difference. You can see the glow it adds to the lights back there, and the highlight on the bottle as well. It's kind of like looking through a steamy window. Everything is glowing, the contrast is wiped out as that bloom or halo is spilling over into our shadows here. It's kind of like lens flare. Now this is the half strength, and the effect is slightly diminished. It's still there, just less of it. And then the quarter strength, we're getting back closer to normal. I think for what I'm going for artistically with the story here, I prefer in this clip how the half power looks. I just want to do one thing before I move on. I don't really like the heavy snow at the beginning of this clip, but at the end where the snow is falling lighter, there's a ton of fake snow that fell into the glass. I mean, no one wants to drink that. So I'm just gonna mask in a part of this clip before the fake snow starts landing in this drink. I'll grab my pen tool and make a selection around the liquid, and then take that part and composite that over the selection where we have that lighter snow falling. So for this shot, I'm gonna blow some of this fake snow as I have the camera pull back on the slider across this really nice detail on the bottle cap here. Okay, so this is the Black Mist 1.0 filter. Okay, so here's the Black Mist 0.5. So now onto the Black Mist quarter strength. You know, they have a 0.8 strength, like a really, really light one. I have it here, I just didn't think it would be a big enough of a difference on camera for you guys to tell, but just know that it's out there if you want something with a really light effect. And you're getting fake snow everywhere. Here's the 0.8 so you guys can see what it looks like. You can see it's just a very light effect. Here you can really see the effect the black mist filters have on bokeh in general and, the overall contrast. So if you use a lot of bokeh in your backgrounds, this might be really fun for you to try out. Like I said, these black mist filters have been around for a very long time. I know a lot of people like to use them to diffuse light and make their subject's skin more pleasing for portraits, or for a nighttime scene, maybe add a soft halo of light that bloom around neon signs or street lamps, to create a mood. You see that a lot in movies and TV shows. As a food and product photographer, I would use these for very specific stories. Like for the shoot that I'm doing today, where I'm trying to create a holiday winter vibe. These filters really push that story a bit further. They add that bit of nostalgia and vintage feel to the scene that's often associated with the holiday season. And in fact, now thinking about it, really hammering in that vintage aspect that these filters give you, I could think of a bunch of brands, entire genres of products rather, where if I was shooting for them and creating a vintage look and feel using these black mist filters, it would fall right in line with that brand's already pre-existing messaging and story. And that's not even talking about all the other cool stuff you can do with these filters. After seeing the test shots side by side, if you made me choose just one of these black mist filters from K&F Concepts, it would have to be the quarter or half strength. Although I like having the full strength one, the halation or bloom is just super strong. It cuts into the shadows everywhere, but when I put all of my favorite shots together, I picked the quarter strength the most. You still get that halo around the highlights, but it's not too strong where you're losing the contrast. Cool little tip if you're interested in trying these out for yourself is that you can stack these filters. The K&F filters have outer threads. So if the full or the half strength looks like too much to you, you could grab the quarter or the eighth, use them independently, and then if you have a shot where something a bit stronger would be nice, you can combine them. Back to these K&F black mist filters. It's not something that I would have on the end of my lens for every shot. But for scenes where I would creatively benefit from blooming out my highlights or creating that really cool vintage look and feel, having these in the toolkit would be a huge benefit. So I'll place their link down in the description below if you want to go check them out for yourself. Drop some comments as well, some questions. I'd love to answer them in future videos. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Man, I need some more coffee.